Alright, what's up everybody? This is, Devo here. Well, some of you guys have been hitting me up, asking for like, maybe if I can make a video showing how to convert mods. So, yeah, let's get started. Let's just fix the screen here. Alright, I'm gonna do something simple, like this Peterbilt, blue lines. Uh, so, the first thing you want to do, first and foremost, you want to make sure you change this disk version to 62 or 61. I just put 62 because it's I don't know, higher numbers for better support for the game, But I don't know if you can see it because that thing, or the little things I got up here, but here's the numbers right here. So you change it to 62, and then if there's any type of custom vehicle type, you don't have to have those, because I know with this truck it had AddConfig. I'm actually gonna revert back. See, I had this specialization AddConfig. Now you can really just get rid of that because the AddConfig script isn't supported anymore for 22, and you can just keep these vehicle types right here, and it'll work just fine. Just gotta remove this AddConfig line right here because the script is no longer supported. So I'm just gonna go to this other truck that I converted and just grab those. Just gonna paste that in like that. I'm just gonna add these just in case I need them for different configurations. So that's why these specializations are there. This foldable, that's most likely for the tag, so it can fold, And that's basically all you do for the mod disk. And change this from 46 to 62. Get rid of the specialization, and you should be ready to go into the XML. Well, what I usually do is I open up the IDD with Notepad++, just to like get rid of like some of these XML files that aren't supported anymore. Excuse me. Like the dashboard shader, you can just input the directory of the updated supported one. So FS19 support shaders, dashboard shader, because it is no longer in the files. If you look in there, there's no dashboard shader because they no longer use it in 22, I guess. But there is a FS19 support folder, and here you can find all shaders that may be in there. But yeah, and here's the dashboard shader. So that's just a heads up there. I'm not sure if the mirror shader's in there. It might be just a regular shaders file. Yeah, here it is right there. So yeah, no need to change that. Another thing with like some of these specklers that are being loaded from the game, like all these data, all of these are pulling from the base game file. So you gotta kind of have recognition if the file is there or if it might be under a different name. So with 22, a lot of the specular files have been changed over to VMAX DDS files. So let me just go ahead and do that. Highlight specular, Just type in VMask, and it's basically a simple process, you know. Although the rest of these seem to be pulling from the textures file, so should be done in there. Just gonna get rid of this. Don't really need this out. Alright, so now we're basically ready to go on XML, and then basically change over all those AddConfig lines. And since FS22, they added a lot more design configurations. I feel there's no need for the AddConfig script to get converted or whatever, because there's like up to 8 design configurations you can have. Oh, excuse me. Alright, so here's one of the design configs, but I'm not gonna change those first. First, we're gonna make sure everything is nice and tidy up here. Like the sheen overlay, that needs to be converted over. So I'm just gonna go grab the one out of here. Just gonna grab the sound file too, cause why not? Actually, I might not need to do that. I wanted to try something new, but I still need that sheen overlay, and then you need that map hotspot. And basically that determines what on the PDA, when you open up the pause menu, it determines what icon of vehicle it shows. So yeah, just gonna paste those right over the top of that. Hit save. Should be good to go. Nothing seems to be changed here with the wheels. I know there's another thing with wheels. I'm gonna have to open up a new mod and show you guys, but there's no in-game wheels being loaded for this specific truck, so yeah. Now I'm gonna copy cut this and try and put it up here and see if it'll load it in the game. I've never tried this, so I'm just gonna try it. You don't have to do this. You could just use whatever the base game one is from a different mod. Right here, for example, you could just copy this and paste it there. But I'm just gonna try this just to see if I can get that to work. Alright, let's get down to those design configs, or the add config configurations, and convert them over to design configs. Now, I always wondered why this rotation was so high. I don't like that, so I'm just gonna change that. Don't mind that. So here's the foldable. Remember we added that to the mod disk. Right here, foldable. So since this is a custom vehicle type, 389, we have to add that specialization in there. So yeah, and there's the tag axle, and yeah, it makes it tuck and forward and do what it's supposed to do. Wipers, I'd rather have quality, so I'm actually gonna steal the sounds for the wipers, you know. Because why not, you know, better experience. Alright, wiper animation, just gonna paste those in. And then paste them. The nodes, make sure you do that. It's not always copy and paste. Well, it is copy and paste, but We're not always done copy and pasting. I'm just gonna edit these end times so it can be accurate to what this mod is, because it's not always accurate for each mod, you know. You don't want your wiper sounds to be off, you know. So basically done with that. Still making my way down to the cab configurations. So alright, so here is a nice little trick you can do with configurations like this. You can just copy that and then hit replace. You can find this little button up here with this little binocular, the little binocular thing, or I think it's Control F. It'll also bring up this menu here. It's a nice tool you can use to, you know, make your life easier, and you know, you don't have to do so much manually, you know. So we copied that cab, little 3 words or 3 letters, and we pasted it in, and we're basically replacing that with design. And yeah, because this script is supported by AddConfig, so that's why we're doing this. So find next, I'm just gonna replace until it closes out the script, and boom, done. So this whole configuration is now done. It'll work, it'll show up in game, won't glitch out. Now here's another configuration, cab panel. It's basically the same process, just copy, paste it in, and then you want to add 2 behind that design right here. So it'll be design configuration 1 up here basically, then this one would be design configuration 2, or design 2 configuration. So just gonna hit replace. Well, I'm gonna click there. So this tool, you can have it search backwards. So if you hit find next, it'll find something like from up top, like up here. Or if you don't have this selected, it'll just find stuff below where your cursor is selected. That's another good tip. So I'm just gonna click above the script and then find next, and then replace. Now you don't have to keep hitting replace. You can replace all, but that's not always safe, because you never know. There could be a script that's in here. I don't know. I just learned not to do that anymore, because I really screwed myself over a few times. So yeah, it's risky. So this configuration is basically done. Now heat shield configurations, that's another custom AddConfig script. So we're just gonna paste that in there, and then change that 2 right here. Just gonna change that to a 3. Right, replace. Basically the same process done over and over again until all of your custom configurations are transformed into design configurations. And yeah, so I'm just gonna do that now. Change it to the 4. Replace. You see what I mean when you hit find next? Now this is a whole nother script. This is tank strap color configuration. So this has custom color configurations as well. Now I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do about these custom configurations yet. I don't really have a solution besides, you know, trying to maybe combine them into the 2 base, the design color configuration and the base material color configuration. I don't know. I don't know about that yet. I haven't made a solution to that, so I'm just gonna bypass that for now. We'll get to it later. Back to our custom configurations. Oh my god, there's a lot. I don't know if we're gonna have enough. We're already at 4. Alright, so next up we have tank configurations. Basically gonna copy the same process. Oh, I'm replacing something I don't want to replace. Oops. So I was replacing this little tank word right here. Yeah, don't need to do that. So you gotta really watch when you're doing this. You're not replacing something that doesn't need replaced. You can just hit find next if it's doing that, you know. And yeah, it's a good solution. You don't have to be the best at scripting to do this. You just have to have a simple logic of how this all works. I mean, it's pretty simple. You just gotta tag along with me. Alright, so next we have these breather configurations. I'm gonna copy breather, paste that in there, and design 6. Now we might be running out of design configurations, but if so, there's other little scripts you can use to substitute design configurations. That's basically, I use a lot of those scripts for my combine. I can show you guys those if you're having the same issue. So let's go ahead and replace these. Alright, breather light configurations. So this looks like this is going to be the last design configuration, because I think there's only 1 through 7, but the first one doesn't start with 1. So it's 8 total, but your last one is design 7, because that's like your last one you can use. So we're just gonna replace. Boom, this is done. Now for these site light configurations, bumper configurations, or fender configurations, oh my goodness, thing has a ton of options. So we're gonna find another script to basically substitute for the design configurations that we ran out of. Now, if we look back into my desk, they had these specializations, so tension belts. Now we have these added in this vehicle type just so we can have another configuration to use for like designs or whatnot. So we're basically gonna put those in now. I'm gonna copy the satellite right here, copy, paste it in there, and I'm gonna look at another truck that I just recently did, and I'm gonna grab that tension belt configuration line so we can have that to use. Alright, here's the script right here. Now you're gonna have to copy this script just to plug it in right here, because it actually has an extra line for some reason. I'm just gonna tab all of these over. Just to make the script look a lot better and organized. You don't have to do this. It reads the script basically the same. It just takes a different toll off of your eyes, you know. You can see exactly what you're looking at, and you can click on exactly what you need to click on. These are just tactics that I learned over time to do, because you can really screw yourself over when you be lazy and not want to do these things. But I've learned from my mistakes, unfortunately. But yeah, it's always nice to learn. So I basically just added this script in, the little closing lines. So this is the top of the script and this is the bottom. Now we basically have to replace the side light with the tension belts little line here. So hit the replace button up here. I'm gonna paste in side light. Oh wait, fuck, I kind of screwed that up. So type in side light. Excuse me. And I'm gonna paste in tension belts. I'm gonna hit replace. So wait. Replace. And yeah, it's basically the same thing we were doing before, but with a new script other than design configuration. Because, as I said before, we ran out of those lines for that script, so we're using our last resources for these extra configurations that this truck has. I'm kind of glad I picked this truck, because I actually wasn't expecting it to have all these configurations, but it can really help a lot of other people out that are experience similar, situations where there's just so many configurations and you don't know what to do with them. Maybe you don't know all of the scripts that maybe can be used, but there's a little resource that you can use. Just hope I'm helping somebody out there, Alright, bumper configurations. Alright, we gotta find another script to use. We might actually be out of scripts, I'm not sure. I don't know what all they implemented inside this truck. So, I know foldable has already been used for the tag axle. But there's still cover configurations, I think. I'm not sure if it's been used, but it's there if we need it. And tension belts, as I said before, this is one, but looks like we already used this one for the script we just did. So I'm just gonna look and see if they have any open cover configurations. So I'm just gonna click find up here. I'm gonna type in cover. Excuse me. Alright, so by the looks of it, there's no cover configs. Yeah, there's no cover configuration, so this is our last resort. So I'm gonna go back to the script, this XML file on my right side, and see if I can find a cover configuration. Here's one. I'm just gonna overview this whole script and see, because you can always be sure, you don't want to add a script in that's already in there. Yeah, it could mess a lot of things up. It can cause the mod to not even show up altogether. So yeah, it doesn't look like this, And this thing still has a lot of configurations. Yeah, we're not gonna have enough scripts to put in for this thing. I don't know, maybe, big maybe. Yeah, there's no cover configuration, so I'm gonna copy the script and throw it in there. Well, we're not gonna copy the whole script like doing like this. We're just gonna copy this part of the script, Alright, here we go. Alright, I'm gonna copy this. Basically gonna insert that right there. Tab this over. where I add the bottom part of the script to close it out from this XML over here. So here's the bottom part of it. Just gonna paste it in right there, so you know you did right when it's purple, you know. Alright, now we basically have to do this part. So gonna use our little replace tool. Gonna copy the little bumper. Alright, so we're basically gonna be replacing bumper with cover for the cover configurations. So here we go. Alright, I seems to have done it. I'm gonna go back and check. Yep. Then here's configuration 1, 2, 3, 4. So this should be done. Now we gotta find a script for this, our rear fenders. I believe we're out of configuration. I don't really know. I've got an XML over here for specializations, but I don't know what's all supported, so you're gonna have to bear with me here. This is kind of gonna be an experiment for me. I don't know if you guys have done this before, but this is my first time finding new specializations to use. So here's tension build. So I don't know. Let me look through these specializations and see if I can find something that may be useful. Now, I'm thinking we can use fill volume and fill unit as some configurations as well. Well, you can say, well, Devo, that sounds kind of silly. How would you use fill units or fill volumes as a configuration? Since this is a truck, I mean, we don't really have to worry about saving these configurations for like fill volumes or the fill unit, you know. You can use the same thing, you know, as just configurations, you know. So let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna have to add these configurations, and I'm gonna wait and see. Specialization fill unit should be already supported, so I don't think we need to add that to my disk. But for fill volume, I think so, because I don't think any trucks have fill volumes. There might be a fill unit configuration already. We just need to modify it. Yeah, here we go, right here. Fill unit. Fill unit configurations. So, yeah, we're basically gonna be modifying these, kind of tricking the game. I mean, I don't know how else to put this. I don't know. It's just something you have to comprehend on a different way, as other than a field unit. So let's see. I'm gonna copy this whole script, I guess, since it's all the way at the bottom. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do that. I don't want to do any extra work. Let's clone this XML into the other view, and then go up to the fill units and do it that way. Alright, basically I have one configuration here already, so let's just copy what we want here. I'm gonna copy the name and the price. You would have to see it in game to see what I'm basically doing here, but it's basically a different configuration, another design config. You just, yeah, you'll understand later on if you don't not yet understanding right now. And we're basically gonna be inserting the object change from the configuration right here. So stock Peterbilt fenders, object change, fenders 300 WB, and basically put those in right here. Now, one thing I've never seen before is a node with a space in it. I don't know if this works or not. This whole node right here. I didn't think you can actually have a node with spaces, but I don't know. I guess you learn something new every day. Alright, so to make this easier, since this is a fill unit, it has these fill unit lines here for the diesel, you know, and the air capacity of the vehicle. No, I know that's all in there, but this can still work as a design. So copy, I'm gonna paste that in, and we're gonna go to our second rear fender configuration. I'm gonna copy the name. Well, I'm just gonna copy this whole line and paste it over the name. And then basically, gonna throw our object changes in there. Just gonna paste those right over the ones from above. Yep, like that. And then boom, we have our second configuration. This is a nice little trick everyone can use for configurations, especially in my situation where there's too many. Well, not necessarily too many, because you can never have too many configurations, you know. Because everybody likes their own, you know, designs of different vehicles, so it's probably best for these configurations. But they're not always the fun. The fun is to just have this script. So paste all our vehicle, all our object changes, paste those in there. Just like that. I'm gonna copy the script again. Paste that up down here. This is basically all you do. This is just configuration wise. If you're having trouble with like making a configuration, you can comment down below and I can try and help you out. I've learned a lot of scripting since my whole journey of modding, you know. Since 2019 is when I really dived in and really learned a lot up until now. So if you ever need help with anything, you can just hit me up. I have Discord, have our own community and stuff there. So copying the name. This could get very old very quickly. The whole copy and paste game. Sometimes you can lose where you're at. Yeah, I've done that before, so hopefully I don't do that again. It's not a very pleasant experience. Excuse me. But all of this scripting, it's all gonna be well worth it when we go on the game. And everything is working nice. That's the general goal of all of this, and yeah. Excuse me. Alright, seems like we're finally pasting in our last one. Alright. Now, since we pasted in this configuration, we can get rid of this whole line here. So I'm basically gonna green line it out so it won't be read by the game. And to do that is with these characters right here that I'm typing, and then So yeah, basically this whole line will not be read anymore. Um, it won't throw an error when you try to load a game, none of that. So that's the whole reason we greenline it. So now we gotta find different creations to use for these wet tanks. So I'm thinking the next one we can use is fill volume. I think we can use that as design configs. We're just gonna have to script it and see if it'll work. But in order for that to work, I think we have to actually go into the mod desk and add fill volume as a specialization. So just gonna copy this, paste it in there, type in fill volume. And it's volume with a capital V, I'm sure. So just gonna put that in there. I'm gonna check the specializations XML that I have here. I'm gonna see, yeah, fill volume right here, capital V. Alright, let's go back to our XML here. So wet tank configurations, that's our next target. So now I need to find the fill volume script. I'm gonna go to a different mod. I'm gonna go to my combine just because I know for a fact I have tons of fill volumes in there. I'm gonna have to see how the script is written. I'm not sure. There's configurations for this script. So here's the fill units, but fill units for the combine is different. They actually need to be used for something. The tank hopping or hopper options. Let's use our little find script here and type in fill volume. Fill volume with a capital V. Alright, here we go. Fill volume configurations. Now, this could be actually a little easier than what I expected it. So I'm just gonna copy this, paste it right above the wet tank because this one has an extra line above the whole little closing script or whatever we're gonna call it. I'm gonna tab all this over like before, just to have everything looking nice and organized. I know this is gonna be a long video, but I can guarantee it's worth watching. You know, a lot of good info I can provide you guys. Alright, so we got our closing and opening parts of this whole little fill volume script here. So now basically we need to get rid of the wet tank configs and replace them with fill volume. So I'm just gonna grab the little fill volume script right here, paste it here, and I'm gonna use a little replace tool. Replace. Oh wait, make sure I'm in the right XML file. Replace, and this is basically all you do. Same thing as before, as earlier in the video. Alright, here we are. So everything should be working. Is configuration 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's basically all design configurations are object changes that makes the object invisible or invisible to whatever you want it to be. So yeah, basically how design configs work. That's why this script is so easy to do, and you can use so many custom scripts to get them to work, because they're just object changes, literally. So I probably need to make this like separate videos, so I don't know. I'm probably just gonna make it all one big video, and you guys just can scroll through the video and figure out what you need to figure out, because I'm gonna be going over a lot of things, such as wheels and tracks. I know a lot of people have issues with converting wheels or tracks, and some people have some issues with textures. um, Pipe configuration. I don't know. I don't know if this is a tangible script to be using. I don't know. I'm gonna check the specializations and see if there's a pipe specialization in there. If there is, it might look out. Yeah, pipe configuration. Alright, you should be good to go then. I'm just gonna have to add that in here. It might be a little weird in game, because it might have an option to like open the pipe in the game. That's just because the script is in there, and I don't know, think it's has a pipe, so it's gonna have that option to press O and try to open a pipe. No pipe might open, but yeah. This is basically a lot, going over here. So I don't really know which one I'm gonna use. I guess I'll use pipe for immature cut. I don't know if I'm gonna script these RGM RAM configurations. It seems like these RGM ramps just seem a little extra, so I'm just gonna green them out, I guess. I don't know. They're not useful to me. Just an extra option. So I'm just gonna use these pipe conversions for the exhaust, and then there's still more configurations. So yeah, we're definitely gonna run out of some scripts to use, but I'm gonna at least attempt to get this working. I'm gonna add the script down here. I'm not gonna space all this out. That's a little extra for all these scripts. I'm just gonna get rid of all of this, because I don't really need all those. Alright, so now we're basically going to be replacing exhaust with the word pipe. Make sure you don't change any of the noding. See how it picked up this node here that has the word exhaust in it? And make sure you just hit find next over those, because that will definitely mess up your whole node, and it'll give you an error, and that configuration probably won't work. It'll probably work, but it won't visually work, you know. Configuration will be there, but the node won't be right for it, and whatever that object change that it is, that it's noding, it's gonna be kind of screwed. So you just have to watch and make sure you're only modifying the script, not the node. It's just gonna be all together weird, because if somebody was to download this after I had all these things and they see a pipe narration, they're gonna be like, oh, this thing has, and the little help menu is gonna say, oh, look, open pipe. He's gonna press that and be like, what pipe? Alright, where's step creations? I don't really want to script this. I think we're out of scripts already, so I don't really feel like fishing for any more scripts. So I'm just gonna grant out all of these configurations, the rest, because you guys are. I need to hurry up and wrap this up, because I've been on this topic for quite a minute. So I'm just gonna green these out, the rest of these configurations. Now these base material configurations, this is another thing that's, I don't know if I'm gonna go over this in this video, because this could be kind of confusing if you don't know like the general color configuration script. If you don't know how to script them, and you don't know the script altogether, this can throw you off, because not all mods have these color configurations. But yeah, I'm just gonna green this out right now, because yeah, this is a lot to go over. No, the base material configuration, that one works. That's just the base game script, so we're all good there. Hit the save button, and yeah, should be done. This thing should be ready to go. It'll be put in the game. Alright, now I need to find a mod that has wheels and tracks that are being loaded from the base game. So, trying to see here if I've got something. If I've got something in here that I haven't fully like converted over. I guess I'll use. I don't know. Bear with me here. I'm gonna pull something from my mods folder from 19, I guess. Let's see. Alright, I guess I'll convert this Brent 2596 green credit. So I guess you can say step 1 is renaming 19 to 22. So yeah, mod desk, remember that's one of the first steps you need to take. Always take it first, because it's easy to forget. So I'm just gonna put 62. You gotta remember that number. That's the number that goes in there. Alright. Next, I'm gonna open the i3D with Notepad++ and have a look over our little files line here that's pulling textures. And then the number shader, I don't think that shader is supported in, I may be wrong, but I don't think that XML's in the shaders. Yeah, it's not in there. Let me see if it's in the FS19 support. Yeah, number shader. Yep. So right behind data, we're gonna basically be putting the directory for that little line. So it's data, FS19 support, shaders, and then the number shader. So that you can see the little S data right there, FS19 support, and then you put in the little slash for that little folder, and yeah, hit the save button. like I said before, these specular files that are being loaded from the base game as well, you need to change those over to vmask, but you have to make sure that it's something from data, because you don't want to be changing your specular files over to vmask if they're not vmask files, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. And data, vehicles, Elmer's. Now we need to make sure these files even still exist for 19, cause I mean for 22, cause they've changed a lot of in-game vehicles, and sometimes they're not always there. That's why some things have missing textures, some things are like completely white. So you gotta make sure if it's pulling a custom file like this, when it's pulling vehicles, that vehicle is actually still in the game. So if somebody was to convert, for example, the 9240 combines from 19, all of the textures would be missing because the 9240 is no longer in 22, and yeah, so you're gonna have to pull all of the texture files from the base game in 19, and basically you have to copy those textures and paste them into the textures file, and then you're gonna have to put the directory in right here. So this whole line right here that I have highlighted, data, vehicles, Elmer's, Hallmaster, you just put in textures, then but you have to make sure those textures are in the textures folder, or you're still gonna have the same problem as before. Now I'm still looking for Elmer's green card here. Alright, here we go. Hallmaster. Alright, so here's our normal map, and here's the vmask. So we need to change the specular to vmask, cause yeah, so we don't have to make a copy the textures and paste them in, cause this Elmer's cart is still in 22 basically. So yeah, we should be done here with that RTD XML. So now you want to open the brunt track. Now I don't know for a fact that the textures for this track system doesn't work because they're not in the base game anymore. So I'm gonna open this ITD, and you're gonna see the track system's gonna be completely white and not gonna have any textures. Yep, there we go. It's completely white. The textures aren't loaded. I don't know why the track looks like that in Giant's editor, because in the game it doesn't look like that. I don't know if that's an issue with GE, or at one point in time it was not like this. I don't know what happened, but yeah, definitely a visibility issue with these tracks. So I'm just gonna exit out of this. I'm not gonna save because I'm gonna edit this ITD with Notepad++ and try and get those textures in there. Alright, so it's trying to load the crawlers, Brent, Brent Avalanche, but I know they're not in there. You basically have to go into the 19 folders, and this is the directory for it, and you have to copy them and paste them into the textures. Now, I'm not gonna do that because can get to I can get to the textures faster because I already converted another green card, the Brent 1596, that has the same textures. So, and here's the textures right here. So you just want to copy those, and like I said before, paste them into here, and yeah. So since this one's not actually in a folder, it is in a folder on the Brent, but the I3D is in the same folder, so you don't have to put Brent right here. You can just take all of that out like that, like so, and like that. So there's no folders, there's nothing, just the texture name and type. Alright, so now if I open this, the textures are gonna be there. It's gonna load right up. It's no longer gonna be white, and yeah, there we go. Specular, everything's there. All the dirt, no longer white. Alright, so that's tracks and different issues. Well, that's not technically tracks because some people still have issues with like the track array like actually showing up. That's easy to fix out. That's the easy fix. It's similar to this, but you exit the XML and you basically get out. You have to. So the class vehicle shader is the shader that's no longer in 22. It's basically using the vehicle shader. You just have to change that in either the XML, and everything is gonna work. But unfortunately, this green card didn't have the class vehicle shader, so I can't really show you that. But yeah, um, I'm gonna go to a different mod and show you guys that little thing. So I'm not gonna do anything in here. I just wanted to show you that with textures, so they would load. I think I have an 8R RT in here somewhere. Yeah, here we go. Just gonna open that up. Alright, so this thing, yeah, it's pulling a lot of 8R, a lot of textures. I'm not even gonna deal with this one. There's this one is the one I've worked on before. I'm basically gonna use this one to show you the whole class vehicle shader thing. Another thought, I think this one's a better choice. Alrighty, so yeah, episode support. Yeah, all these things are here. these things are set right. So not much to do here. This thing is already converted. I already messed with this already. But the tracks, I don't think I've done anything to the track XML. So alright, so let's see here. See, it's not asking for the class vehicle shader. I'm gonna open the track thing. You can see exactly what we're looking at here. Alright, so nothing in here is loading. Well, the track tread itself, so it should be an easy fix. And if you're having this issue, alright, Camzo. Alright, so it looks like the actual track array isn't loading for some reason. So this is kind of a different issue than what I mentioned earlier. But yeah. And here's a track array. So the track array basically is custom texture 3 down here. You just click these 3 dots and you can assign that. And I'm going to mention this now. The class vehicle shader is no longer supported in 22, so you're going to have to find the vehicle shader for 22 and use that instead of the class vehicle shader. It works, and yeah. So if you have an additional 3D track issues, and then these two options that I just told you and mentioned should be a fix. So that's that. I'm just gonna save this, and that should work all like it's supposed to. Now there's something else I need to show you with wheels. Let's see here. I don't really know. So I need to find something here that had a. Alright, here we go right here. Brent, alright, this Kinsey 1100. So with the wheels, these wheel configurations, before they didn't have this extra folder if it's pulling from the data. So if you have wheels that has this data and this sign right here, and they're not loading in the game, then you're probably missing this little folder right here, tires. For some reason they added it. I don't know why. Maybe they're trying to be more organized or something, but it's no longer just data shared wheels Michelin and whatever brand it is. It's data shared wheels tires and then the brand and whatever tire it is. So if you're having issues with that's a little explanation for you. So yeah, I'm gonna load up my game and see what the blue lines truck looks like. Let's see what all issues I have. I just converted it, so yeah, as you guys seen a few seconds ago. Hold on, I gotta fix the screener. here we go. So I'm just gonna go into this save that I had already. So here's the 2596. Now I didn't do any additional script errors or editing to this, so this might not be completely converted over, but I guess I can show you the tracks that I did for it. So I'm just gonna find Blue Lines truck here, the 389, and see what all, what's all done to it, whatever I did or showed you guys, if it worked or not, with all of the different configurations or whatnot. It's taking the save forever to load because I've got a lot of vehicles and stuff already purchased. I've noticed that this specific save game takes a while to load up. You guys have to bear with me here. Alright, so we're in the game. Now you can see I've got tons of stuff purchased already. This is one of the first trucks that I've done and added like a bunch of options and stuff. So I'm still not done with it. That needs a lot of work. But yeah. And here's the same truck with different options. But yeah. Let's find Blue Line's truck here. And oh. So we're having an issue here. Maybe it doesn't like one of the options. Vehicle type, Peterbilt 389. So it doesn't like our vehicle type. Interesting. Interesting. As you can see, all of the designs are here. Just the truck isn't on the load in. I can't show you that truck, but here's another truck that the other one that you just seen, that I've basically done all of the same thing, basically the same thing with blue lines, just with not as many custom vehicle specializations. I didn't do the fill volume, and I didn't do fill unit, I don't think. So that might be why it's not one to load, because I've never done configurations for a truck using that. So I don't really know. But the thing is, render options and everything, tag axle, visor options, you know, the whole shebang, you know. You got rear steps, but that's not really compatible with the tag. We've got engine, got tail bars, and then basically your color configuration. So yeah, and then here's Salmonella Farms, is Pete's. I converted this one as well. So I don't know. I don't know. I guess it depends on what scripts you use. Let's see about that 8RT. Yeah, so there's 8RT. The tracks are all there. Everything seems to be working. Let's just add some options and see. This one seems to work. I don't think I added the track away for the rest of these here, so that's why they're kind of invisible. Either that or it's missing the vehicle shader, but like I said before, it's easy fix. Just have to find the track array for that custom texture 3, or it's missing the vehicle shader. It's either one of the two options. That's literally the only thing it can possibly be. I mean, it's as simple as that. But yeah, guys, just comment down below if you need any help with a specific mod or specific things. I've already got my combine pack converted into 22. Just kind of making sure everything's working right. My last thing I gotta do right now is getting all the configurations for the fill volume to work. I'm not sure if they all work, but I guess I can show you guys. But yeah. Let's see, capacity. So here's all the different capacities that I have, and I'm just trying to make a way for them all to work, you know. And the different engine configurations. And the whole shebang. Different pipe configurations. You know. And something new, I don't know if you guys have seen before, but I've added in chopper configuration here. So there's the 8010 chopper that comes stock on the 8010 combine. Now, whenever this combine is gonna be released, I'm just gonna hope and pray that you guys
add the correct configurations to the correct combine. You wouldn't have this 8010 chopper on the 7250. You would have either this or this. So you got to kind of pay attention to that. And for the pipe, you wouldn't have this, an 8010 auger on the 7250 or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have this either. You gotta just know and visualize exactly what you have and the configurations that's supposed to go for that. It's like this is a 250 auger, but you wouldn't see it on a 7250. So I just hope and pray everybody's mindful about different options that this thing has and choose wisely on what you put on it, because you can really make it look visually like garbage just because you have the wrong options. So yeah, uh, with all that being said, you guys take care, and hope I've helped somebody out there. So peace out, you guys. Comment down below if you need any help, and you guys can join my Discord. I'll add the Discord down in the description. You can join my community and just ping me if you need me. Alright, guys, I'm out.